What's going on, everyone? So, I just got back from the hardware store picking up some plywood, and on my way back, I stopped because there was a solicitor at the side of the road um, with a big sign that says "No Tax Oregon," and flying an American flag. American flag didn't catch my attention, but the no tax sign really caught my attention because if you don't know me, I used to drive around with the big taxation and theft sticker on the back of my truck. It was like fishing for cops. Um, so I don't do that anymore. But yeah, I've just always felt that taxation is the it's just such a gross measure of a society. Like any society that would call itself civilized but still relies on taxation is just fooling themselves. It's theft, it's slavery. If a hundred, if most people think of slavery as taking 100% of the product of somebody else's labor. But what percentage of it is not slavery? You know, what is it like? We give 30%, most people, to the government, right? So 30% of the time, you are a slave. That's what that means. So anyway, I saw this sign that said "No Tax Oregon," and I just being somewhat desperate for allies, being a natural law anarchist, I'm like, whoa, well, maybe that's a um, sign of hope, right? So I stop and I proceed to, just ask this woman, what is this all about? She's wearing this "We the People" hat, and it's just, you know, a bunch of, petitions she wants me to sign about ending a road tax and a death tax, and then the last one really got me, which the first two I'm like, yeah, I mean, we need to figure out how to organize society. We need to figure out how to build roads uh, without stealing from other people. If you live in the same neighborhood as somebody, you should have like a road fund, and you should all contribute to a road fund to build the road and maintain the road. Um, yeah, so that one I kind of agree with. I didn't sign it because, on principle, I don't believe in. I don't believe in asking the government for permission to do basic things, such as building a shed. Um, and I certainly I think it's very counterproductive for the movement of freedom to continue to play the status game of politics, of saying, of just taking the lesser of two evils, of asking the government to just whip us less than the government that was in power before. Because that's what that means. Get the taxes off our backs. Just whip me less, slave master. That's what that means. When really we should, like, if anyone's trying to whip you or steal from you, you should, you know, deal with that in the proper way. And that gets me into the last petition she wanted me to sign, which was this oh, it was something about taxes in conjunction with like keeping violent criminals locked up, um, repeat offenders, making sure that we keep those people incarcerated, and I was just like, well, okay, there's like all kinds of like stupid drug charges that keep people incarcerated, for one, and for two, I'm likely to catch a an assault charge or a manslaughter charge or a murder charge if I defend myself with a firearm. If I'm rightfully defending myself in the eyes of natural law, if I'm rightfully defending myself with a firearm, I'm liable to catch an assault charge or a murder charge, even if I'm in the right. And a law like that would just keep someone like me, locked up. So of course I'm not gonna sign that. Um, but the principle of the matter is government is slavery, and if you play that game, as I was tempted to today, right? It was, yeah, the devil card showed up in my tarot reading this morning, and didn't quite know what that was going to be about, but I do now. It was like devil's calling you to play its game, and the thing about it is the devil's game will melt away if we stop playing. If we just ignore it and not comply with it en masse, but continuing to sign petitions and vote, even for the lesser of two evils or for whatever cause that might seem like the righteous thing to do, to continue to do that is to support that system, the devil's system. Natural law is the supreme law of the land, not the Constitution, certainly not the federal or state governments. Consequence. If you bring war on me, I have the right to do war onto you. So don't start a war.